Politics, cultural exchange, social life and ecological issues. These are only few areas where international organizations implement their projects. They cooperate with public and private partners, and preserving peace for future generation is their principal goal. How do they arrange their work? What role is given to Kazakhstani initiatives? You'll find more on this in Kazakhstan International Vectors. We know very well about environmental degradation and its consequences, such as human and economic losses. World wars and military conflicts, which happened not so long ago, had no doubt a negative effect. H2O is not only life-giving liquid, but also a source of mortal diseases. When in the 19th century cholera in Europe took more than 100,000 of lives, people did not believe that the contamination cause was dirty water. In sanitary conditions, a disorganized sewage system and litter in urban streets polluted watercourses from which people used to drink water. In England, the spread of the disease was stopped only after the destruction of Main Street pump. From 1945 to 1996, more than 2,000 nuclear tests were carried out throughout the world. Soil, air and water sources within several thousand kilometers were contaminated. The world ocean was polluted with the worst radioactive discharges for several years. The accident on Fukushima 1 atomic station in Japan. This catastrophe was given the highest 7th level in accordance with the International Scale of Nuclear Accidents classification. The accurate data on the radiation level there is still unknown. Nevertheless, researchers showed that the contamination level in fish and algae living within 300 kilometers exceeds the maximum allowable norms. Japanese scientists confirm that the period of the station recovery may take several decades. Natural disasters, armed conflicts and human negligence significantly damage the ecosystem, and if no appropriate measures are taken, within 30 years diseases which now are considered rare will be taken first thousands and after that millions of lives. Thus the mortality rate due to the respiratory illnesses may double by 2050. Ecological problems of one country directly influences environment of other states. For instance, smog in China threatens the entire world, scientists say. It intensifies storms in the Pacific Ocean and leads to global climatic changes. As a result, the agricultural sector suffers damages such as reduction in yields and livestock. Moreover, all that can even provoke fires. How does the world community solve ecological problems, and what role has been given to international organizations? $20 million hectares of forests are annually being cut throughout the world, and 82% of the lungs of the earth are recovered in a natural way or with the help of humans. However, despite this fact, 95 million of trees are irretrievably lost. One tree consumes almost 2.5 kilos of carbon dioxide, but at the same time produces more than 1.5 kilos of oxygen. So planting trees in large cities plays a very important role for citizens' health. Volunteer of an ecological association Alexander Verlati says. Today we have gathered here in order to make a small contribution into the ecology of our city, our beautiful country, and perhaps of the entire world. About 40 new young trees appear only in Almaty twice a year as a part of the campaign Plant a Tree, and in a few years several more parks will be growing in different parts of the city. The organizers note that the number of people involved in such projects is constantly growing. It is a sort of progress for us. The number of people who came here today is twice as much as the number of fir tree seedlings. Before it was quite on the contrary. Our children are already adult and well-to-do, but they also take part in this campaign. Projects like this are only a small part of efforts to preserve the world environment. Ecology problems on the global level are being solved by international organizations and regional centers located in different parts of the world. One of them is situated in Central Asia. Regional Environmental Center for Central Asia, CAREC, is an independent organization of an international character. It was established in 2001 with the headquarters in Almaty, Kazakhstan. CAREC has its branches in Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan. We mainly concentrate on issues of ecological cooperation, such as water resources, environmental management, climate change, energy efficiency and education for sustainable development. The main task of CAREC is to engage countries into the dialogue. Indeed, efficient results in preservation of environmental sustainability can be reached only with joint forces, experts say. We have a well-developed network of partners. We cooperate with state authorities specialized in environmental protection. We also have links with non-governmental organizations and business societies. By now, the organization has implemented hundreds of projects in 4 main areas: the program of water initiatives, climate change and sustainable energy, environmental management and education. Besides that, the organization closely cooperates with the European Union. Our main goal is to raise awareness of state structures, NGOs, business sector and mass media. Within a 2-year period, we've conducted various meetings, brainstorming, discussions, which allowed our participants to understand what issues they should concentrate on. Each new vehicle means one step forward towards climate change, and this is a negative step, experts say. More than 20 million tons of contaminants are annually emitted only by motor transport. According to ecologists, cars are a powerful source of heat pollution. In its turn, it provokes further increase in temperature on the planet. Global warming is one of the main reasons of natural disasters, the number of which is growing from year to year. Moreover, such catastrophes annually kill more than 300 million people. Landslides, floods and earthquakes only in Central Asia over the past 5 years have taken away the lives of about 2,500 people. Even more than 5 million were injured and have lost their homes. Earth needs cooling. For that purpose, international organizations propose to change the approach towards the global energy industry. Indeed, the rational use of Earth sources, including electricity, can allow avoiding further planet warming. Firstly, any saved energy means resources which we haven't used yet. Secondly, it is very important to pay attention to alternative energy sources. Solar and wind energies are the energies of the future. This is our approach towards the energy sector. We have the entire program and we work in accordance with it. The load upon the environment increased significantly in the 20th century. The world population rose 4-fold and the world output 18 times. Soil degradation and desertification, irrational irrigation of soils and intense deforestation resulted in exhaustion of various natural resources and caused serious ecological problems. Battling against new diseases which continue to appear require billions of dollars of governmental investments. Rapid industrial development in 1950s negatively affected the environment. Countries started pursuing a policy of recovering of factories and cities destroyed by war. At that time, it was important to employ every person and bring states on a higher level of development. Meanwhile, ecological issues became of secondary importance. World wars and those which happened not so long ago had no doubt a negative effect. Countries are more oriented on military policy and rising of social and demographic level, which unfortunately overshadows environmental problems. The high attention towards the global ecological situation was given only in 1970s. At that time, these issues were under the UN supervision. In 1972, the first international conference dedicated to environmental problems and human impact on nature was held in Stockholm. Its participants were 187 states and more than 30 intergovernmental and non-governmental international delegations. Since then, the environment-related activities have become international. We have been facing with natural disasters for 20 or 25 years. The world community has changed its mind towards this problem, which has become a priority for all the developed countries. 2/3 of the world population will be suffering from thirst as early as within 15 years. However, the problem of lack of water exists even now, scientists say. While some states are trying to save every liter of life-giving water, others are becoming its principal users. Thus, in Turkmenistan, water consumption rate is the highest in the world and makes up 5.5 liters per capita. It is 4 times higher than, for example, in the US and 13 times higher than in China. CAREC also gives much attention to solving water issues. We work at every small transboundary water basin of Central Asia and establish institutes which strengthen mutual confidence and help to implement joint projects. We provide assistance with technical equipment for these institutes, as well as raise efficiency of water resources use. We are also involved in the creation of the organization which would join efforts of local communities. Along with that, wars because of lack of water are also typical for humankind. Thus, for the last half of a century, 500 armed conflicts occurred in different parts of the world as a result of the battle for the access to fresh water. This liquid can also be produced from seawater. Currently, more than 2,000 water freshening plants function throughout the world. Still, they are capable of solving the problem of desalinization, but not of contamination. According to ecologists, up to 400 billion of cubic meters of sewerage waters are dumped into the global water basin. 260 million tons of plastic products annually fall into the ocean water. This causes enormous damage to marine life. Rare species of plants and fish are disappearing. Apart from that, from diseases associated with dirty water, more than 10,000 people are dying daily. The organization representatives are quite confident that solving of water problems requires joint efforts from countries, and until scientists invent analogous to life-giving water, it remains the substance which no country can get without. The lion's share of water resources in Central Asia countries is used for irrigation of agricultural lands. However, water consumption can be significantly reduced due to modern technologies. Drip irrigation is a method invented in Israel. Water is supplied only to roots of plants. It allows saving up to 70% of water. Even now, this innovation is being implemented in Kazakhstan and neighboring countries. Sharing experiences plays by no means the last role in solving ecological problems, say specialists of CAREC. We want to improve mutual trust and the possibility of practice exchange between Central Asia and other countries. Along with the environment protection projects, CAREC is also introducing new technologies in education. Organization workers tell about their intention to grow up a generation which will take much care about the environment and make a significant contribution into the sustainable development of its native country. As we see, the world is changing very rapidly, and unpreparedness or insufficient preparedness of teachers to such changes can be one of the barriers in the promotion of competence and environmental knowledge in educational systems. The organization puts emphasis on active youth and sets the task to grow not only specialists but leaders capable of bringing up the entire generation of ecologically educated people. Seminars and trainings with the participation of foreign colleagues are being organized for such students. Beach holidays are the most common type of tourism. Almost 40% of all holiday makers around the world prefer hot sand and warm sea. However, few people know that while choosing a seaside, it is recommended to know about its awards. The blue flag is considered one of the most prestigious in the world. Only the world's cleanest and safest beaches are awarded with this honorary prize. Many countries which pursue the goal of becoming more prestigious improve the quality of their seasides as much as possible. The number of luxurious beaches is increasing from year to year. Because of that, it is recommended to find out whether a beach where you are going to spend your holidays has a blue flag mark.